Hello, all. How you doing, Ivan? Football fan, Dark Star, Hugh. Hi, Hugh. Let me check. Is the sound okay? Everybody can hear all right? Okie doke. Are the JLC Polaris, Glasuda CQ GP Laredo inferior to the Rolex Submariner? No, they're not. They're all superior. Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad this sounds all right. Hey, Abdul. By the way, Abdul, you might want to take a look at the Lurik group discussion over on WhatsApp. Your name came up in a good way. Okie doke. All right. Today, what I this afternoon, really, what I wanted to talk about. Oh, okay. You were viewing watch ranking recently, and they said those aforementioned watches were all way below the Rolex Submariner. That's why I asked. Okay, well, it depends on what watch ranking you were looking at, doesn't it, Hugh? You asked, I gave you an answer. At least as far as I'm concerned. I think is that these kinds of questions. I think for the topic we have right now are a little erroneous. You know what I mean? In other words, irrelevant. So let's take a look at the topics that we were going to talk about. And hey, Brian, and this is the what are three go to um, watch companies you go to when you go looking for a watch? What are the first places you go? What are you looking for? And what I found was that a lot of the places I go to all the time, I never buy a watch there. I always end up with something else. Hey, Rancher, good to see you. Michael, hi, Michael. Glad you could make it. Okay. That's not the question, but if that's what you think, Hugh, the question is where do you go to look? Is that where you go to look? So I take it you're a fanboy for Rolex. We know about them. Richard Milne. I know about them. AP, and the fourth would be Patek. Okay. All right. That's There are no surprises there. How about somebody else? What are some other ones? I go to one place. Right now, I think one of the places I've been looking at, my three watch brands I go to are Parmigiani, Moser, and Patek. Yeah. I go to each of their websites first. You know what I've been doing? I've been going to the Patek Philippe website for ones that were created before they started stuffing silicon in them, and so that's and hoping to find a 5124 for a great price, or the other one, a long one. I forgot the name of it's 50 something or other. The sort of, but that has the same movement as the 5124. Hoping to find a really good deal, and if I happen to have the money, but haven't bought one there in a long time. Okay, you think they have Luxury Bazaar. I tell you, I think the ones that have the best prices, well, from what I've seen, I think there are a lot of good deal places. Um, I don't know if I've ever got anything from Luxury Bazaar. I don't remember them being one way or the other. I don't remember them being bad though. The Watch Outlet has great deals, but they're drying up because everybody bought them. Same thing with the what's it overstock.com, some other ones. But what I found is that if I'm looking for a certain kind of watch, I'll go back to the same model. Like when I was looking for this for my Fabergé Alexi, I'd go back and I kept, just sort of trying to find out, really trying to find out about the movement. Not only would I go to the sales site, but I would try to find as many reviews as possible. That's another thing. When the brands, and there's a heck of a there are very few about certain watches. You can find a ton of reviews about the ones that the herds like to follow, and which ones they are. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Ivan, I contacted Paddock recently, and the service I received was superb. You might not be able to buy a watch from them, but they will talk about their watches for hours. That's cool. Ivan, when I had my Paddock Philippe, I had to get something sort of funny. Really, it was nothing more than gold spring bars. I had read that if you have a gold watch, you should have gold spring bars because the softness of the metal was important. So I went down. A friend of mine and I went to New York, and we went to the Patek Philippe Service Center, which is in the middle of 20. What's it called? 20 Rock or 40 Rock, whatever. The Rockefeller Center, right in the middle of Rockefeller Center. Man, we had to go through all kinds of security and everything else just to get to where they had the where I could get my spring bars, and I'd called ahead and everything and made an appointment, so they were expecting me. I went in there, and it was really interesting. They have a wonderful office, and they had my spring bars all ready for me and everything, my gold spring bars. Now, the problem wasn't that, it was sort of a fun thing to do, and they have wonderful service, like, Ivan said, um, and $65 a piece for the spring bars wasn't that wasn't that bad, really. I mean, consider everything else that you pay for. And then I asked them if they wouldn't mind taking the back off and taking a picture of the movement for me, and they did that. Really super nice people. And also they have chocolate they give you, so get a chance to go in there. Shopworn, yeah, that's the one I was trying to think of, Brian. Shopworn, Joma Shop has a lot of good deals. Some of these places, one sort of a whole series of places that I've discovered recently, and how good watches get there, I don't know. But there are these luxury places that like the Real Real, Fashionophile, First Dibs. All of those places are primarily for, you know, uh, Hermes handbags and Chanel and so forth, things like that. But I found a whole bunch of Daniel Roth watches. I was really surprised. The And so some of the places like that, you can really find some interesting stuff. Hey Thomas, how you doing, man? Hey Joel, Dornbirth, Kadoki, and Harboring too. Joel, those are all three of them are great. The problem is is that I know I could almost tell you what their entire stock is, and they're very hard to find on the used market. Harboring twos, you can find some harboring twos now, but for a long time there were none on Toronto 24. Hey, Kotoff Media, public relations departments are never busy. Yeah, good point. Um, think the dog trainer is interested in getting a hold of you. Okay. All right, Hugh, the dog trainer is looking for you. Hey, Joel, I think Harboring is the most interesting horologically, but Dornbluth designs are just stunningly attractive. Are we really interested in brands as a whole or some models in particular? Both, I guess. Hi, Sam's. My three are Omega, Rolex, and Tudor. Poor Hugh. Huey, got a few older ones, not going to bring up, the rare birds again. Okay. Hey, Truman. Ivan, exactly how would you think Paddock, would be a bunch of snobs since they deal with, the glitterati, but, were quite the opposite? Glad to hear you had, the same experience. Yeah, it's really a great experience there. They gave us chocolate. Did I mention that? I was it was funny. I was getting some life insurance at the, Van Cleef and Arpels on the way home. We'd gone to the friend of mine and I went to the, uh, FP Journe's, new, boutique down in, it's down in the financial district. And, then we had to come all the way back up to, 57th Street and Fifth Avenue. And the places are more and more like, you have to get an appointment just to walk in the door and everything like that. The people at, uh, Van Cleef& and Arpels, though, really neat. You go in there, and I swear to God, there are these guys in these tuxedos or something like that, that looked like you could break you in half if if you got out of line. They had a bunch of people in there, very polite and everything else, but man, I tell you, not just not a place you'd wanna mess with anyone. Um, Jeez. Paul, Zeitwinkel, Horage, and Schwarz-Etienne. Yeah, is Zeitwinkel, is that the, Paul, is that, um, Marco Lang, or is that somebody else? Um, Schwartz, uh, Etienne, that's another really great company. That was one that for a very short period of time, I wish I'd grabbed one at the time. They had some great deals at this one place, and they went all away. Gallet, okay. Peace and friendship. All Longa and Sonde Glashütte original, probably just a Laco. Laco's not nice watch. I like Lacos. I'm on the wait list for a Rolex Daytona. Good for you. Langenheim, Wayne. Yeah. I I'm very funny about Langenheim. I'll tell you why. Um, I noticed that after Marco Lang left, there were certain lines that were dropped, or certain of the really interesting, watches that were dropped. And I don't know, ever since then, I sort of felt funny about it. I guess, you know, every watch that I'd wanna have at Lang& High were the ones that, Marco Lang designed, and would hope have some of them left over. My one Lang& Heinmo I got when he was still there, so I feel pretty good about it. That was also too what they used to do is that they would number them. You'd get your number. Mine was number 10. Bought a Tudor 1926 a couple of months ago. I like it a lot. Sounds good. Paul, not Marco. Okay. I also put my name on the wait list for Rolex Pepsi. Gee whiz. I wonder what kind of watches you like there, Hugh. Hi, JJ. Uh, Albert Edelman plus two partners. Paul, what are you talking about, Langenheim? Or are you talking about, Zeitwill or something else, I guess? Zeitwinkel are superb. I spoke with Albert from the company at watch shows. Okay. What's the name of that new watch that Marco Lang came out with, that really cool one that flips over? I forgot the name of it. It sounded like something like that. Is Caribou and Lannon involved in Supernova Uran Farbrick? I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Oh, Sapaneva. Is that Sapaneva? Isn't that the guy? He's also in Finland. I get the impression their sales are handled through email, phone calls, and I think there's usually a year or a delay waiting. Yeah. Marco is now at Luxury Bazaar. I'm not sure what Marco you're talking about, Hugh. I'm talking about Marco Lang. What Marco are you talking about? Uh, Flips Milne's all day. I have Wang and Heine. What about Lane? Oh boy, is that something? What's Lane's for? Isn't what's their first name? There's Lanes sort of that make the really nice cases, and there's another one I think that makes movements. About Zeitwinkel. Okay, so it's not the Watts that. Okay, Randy, what's up, dudes? That's us. I get. Yeah, my thing. Sup, Holmes? Urban Jurgensen. Yeah, that's the one that Caribou and Lantigo. By the way, yeah, that's supposed to be. I guess they're supposed to this year, aren't they? He's supposed to be rolling out the new ones. That'll be interesting. Hi, Rodzia, Stefan Kikolars, Kekolars. Okay, um, Rods Rodzia. If that's who I think it is, they're really, really, really good uh, good watches. Glycine. They have great heritage, especially the Airman, which was the first GMT, went into space with NASA and still available for around $500. Finishing is also better than you'd expect. Any opinion about True Factors watches, time factors? I don't know anything about them. Hi, Mookie. I love Win Chicken. Oh, 150th anniversary of UU. Or UJ, I mean. Do you think Lang will hold its value in the aftermarket now that they are upgrading their prices 20%? I don't know. Hugh, you got any questions about horology, or do you guys care about that? Sort of it's an unfortunate reputation that Rolex fanboys have. They don't know anything about horology. They just want to talk about price. They know the price of everything, the value of nothing. Come on, let's see. Man up on this. Come up the years. Hey, Joel, I'm more a rural Jurgensen guy myself. Rural. I don't know them. I One pumped me dry yesterday. Okay. I like Longa songs. They don't go up in secondary market like. All right, hey Paul. Perhaps the other lane that was being talked about is Tortsy Lane. That's who I'm thinking about. Yes, Tortsy. He's got some really great stuff. Hey, Chili Burger. Um, Akrivia. Yes, yes, he's another one that's really fantastic. His stuff, though, this is one of the problems with him and a lot of these really great independent. Their prices are just way out of reach, at least for me. Um, a Clive Stream, that would be cool. Okay. Pierre de Roche, complications seem interesting. Boy, I'm not too sure about those. I mean, I don't know about them. They might be great. Um, I would like to be able to look for Japanese brands, but their websites are totally incomprehensible, and the watchmakers are more reclusive than Howard Hughes. You know, um, I mean, the guy, I mean, it was one of the watches I'd really like to have was a Tsunami by Jaime Ahsoka be great. What good is horology if the watch doesn't hold its value? You have the horology. I mean, why have a valuable piece of junk? Okay. Here in 40 minutes. Mookie. Mookie, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Uh, the market has determined that Rolex is high horizon. No, it hasn't. Nope, 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 nope. That's the financial thing. Well, it would be nice if Alanga remained independent. I think they would be different brand today. You know, Michael, I think a friend of mine who is a watchmaker and used to be a judge for the Grand Prix said pretty much the same thing. He wished that they were. Um, that would be nice if they were. He felt that they sort of had gone down after that, but they still have great watches. You know, a watch company I think that's getting better and better is Maurice Grossman. The problem is that their prices keep going up. Don't watch Nika Liar. I don't know. My son Jacob wants nothing to do with me. Well, that can happen. If I had $1 every time to pump me, I'd be a millionaire. Great. Okay. We could watch Bill chase off Han Dane like a scolded chimp. God doesn't anybody ever let that go. Okay, Hugh. I think many of the big money collectors are afraid of Langen because they are so. I don't think they're afraid of him because of that. That's why Patek and Rolex or Richard Mille are the oh Jesus. Um, don't watch. Okay. Hey, by the way, Hugh, how many Grand Prix awards has Rolex won? I'd like to know. Sam's dad's must. What do you think about HYT watches? Boy, HYT is a. Forgot. I was reading recently who was involved in it. Really a brilliant design, but totally failed, and then they came back again, and I don't know if they're doing very well. There seem to be a lot of them up for grabs. They are max production capacity all longer, and they have to divert some of their production to the new models like the Odyssey to cut down on Saxonia. Michael is a super collector. Pay close attention to him. Clyde tells the truth. Do you think Hermes will be high horology? Some of them already are. They've won awards. Uh, like Chanel or Louis Vuitton, they already have. They own 25% of Vaucher. You know about Vaucher? Uh, that was freaking hilarious. Jesus, it was not intended, and it became part of the lore for no good reason. Does brand really matter? I like my triple calendar moon phase auto chrono more than anything else. It happens to be an Eterna and nicely made. You know, that's Euro Nick. That's you got a brand you really like. Um, I keep talking about my $200 perpetual regulator. That thing. I'm not much of a regulator fan. Maybe if I had a Laurent Perrier regulator, I'd feel different about it. But I wanted to have a regulator to check off my regulator box, and ended up getting this $200 one from Hong Kong. Been great. The other thing is too that's interesting about it. The movement in the regulator, in my perpetual regulator, is is purpose built for a regulator. Most of them simply move the one of the what is it they move? They move the minute hand. No, they move the hour hand up to 12 o'clock. Leave the minute hand in the middle, and then leave the second hand at 6 o'clock. but that's with the same movement. They simply move a couple things around. On the other hand, mine is is has a what's it called, the Chinese watchmaker. Anyway, they that's a purpose built version of it. Okay, Hugh, let's see. 9% of watch value and horology is the brand. That's what makes Rolex the best. Good God. This is, I tell you, that's the kind of stuff that they have at the children's table, Hugh. Come on, let's try to let's talk about horology. Don't watch. Okay, wait. Jim Key's my ex father-in-law went to court to stop me seeing my son Jacob. The judge agreed with him because of my mental illness. Good God. Okay. Hey, Wayne, Rolex should have entered the Sky Dweller into GPHG. I think they should have entered Yacht Master too. They had a fantastic countdown mechanism in the Watchmaster 2. Sky Dweller has some great horology. I agree with you, Wayne. Thing is that when they did enter back in 2007, they entered two watches. Neither one of them even made it to the nomination. So I know how you feel. Larique had one they put in. It didn't make it to nominations either. Okay. Tosin Watch Company, JS Watch Company, JS Watch Company, Detroit Watch Company. I would say, Joel, I agree with you. You put in JS and the Detroit. Yes, those are the holy trinity of watch companies. I love them all. Don't pay close attention to me. Michael doesn't want the responsibility. I don't blame him. Um, okay. Hi, Mookie. Oh my God. Rancher, my instinct is to pay close attention to Michael. I agree. Okay, Hugh. I think the Rolex. Yeah, we know what you think about Rolex. Come on, something from the children's table. Let's have something. Let's up your game. Do you think Blanc Pond should make more watches so that they can market harder and catch up with? Oh, Jesus. Still at it, aren't you? Okay, let's see, Michael. I appreciate the sentiment, Rancher. Come on, what is this? This is starting to sound like an AA meeting. Okay, see, I think it most middling value. Mental health, Martin. Big Bird out of Sesame Street. Oh, okay. My name is Mental Jock. A common con man had to run away from Scotland. I rip people off for a living. I'm doing streams now with people are falling for my sob stories. Oh, okay. Big Bird, off you go. Okay. Want to think about a modern Accutron spacesuit. You know, I had one of the original Accutrons when they first came out. Loved it. Worked great. Then broke. Oddball, Trinity, Renaissance, and Oct and Junior. That one I really like. Brilliant kind of stuff. Okay, it's frying pan time. Hugh, do I like Blanc Pond? Yeah, I like Blanc Pond up to a point. I don't like the fact they put the silicone hairsprings in 'em. I like Rolex too, don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's everything. Ox Un Jr., great. Urek, they got some interesting things. You can get some great deals on that. We blew on 30 minutes. Yeah, sorry about that, fan. Hey, we had some guys. You know those. You know in the parades when they have what do they call shiners or oh anyway those guys that wear those funny little fezzes and they have these little miniature motorbikes and they run around like that. I think we had some of those. Is it Shriners? That's it. The Shriners have us stuff. Okay, everyone, take care. Uh, Benzinger, Paul, you're right. I'm glad you mentioned them. How does Lurique watches compare to Rolex 1908? We don't use silicon. We have a Strawman hairspring. That's how it compares, which means it's 10 times better, among a lot of other reasons too. Okay, guys, you take care, and uh, behave yourselves or don't. See you next week.